Okay, Daily Parsha Insight, page 149. 149. So we talked in today's, the sixth Aliyah, the mitzvah that was discussed was about when a man takes a wife, that for the first year he shouldn't go out to war, so he can gladden his wife's heart. Okay. As a bunch of times when we do a Parsha Insight, we take the legal definition of the mitzvah and we unpack it spiritually.
Wow.
And spiritual symbolism about our relationship with God. Now, it's very common in prophetic and Talmudic imagery that God and the Jewish people are compared to husband and wife. Right? Because God chose us. In this allegorical context, the biblical prohibition of a woman having more than one husband, right? No adultery, because why? That would be, what would be in the comparison, worshiping another deity, right? That's not being faithful to your beloved husband, God. In a broader context, so that's famous. This is a famous, simple, this isn't the before chesed, this is basic Talmud. In a broader context, being married to God implies renouncing love for anything that competes with our love for him. I mean, real marriage is where that you don't have like, I like this, like that, I like my spouse. Really, it should be renouncing everything else is secondary to the beloved. So with God, that means to renounce all other loves for other stuff. For example, in particular, any aspect or element of the material world, like not, allowing yourself to love, to revel in sensual pleasure or wealth or influence or power or prestige or beauty, right? Like the Greeks were very into the beauty and like they worshipped it like as something in its own right, very, very important to, love and to follow it. Everything we say everything is nice, but it's totally ancillary and secondary to God. To the love of God is. The Torah indeed allows us to enjoy these pursuits in the permissible ways that are prescribed, but encourages us to do so as only part of our appreciation of God's goodness, using them to intensify our love for him. As soon as they become ends in themselves, they lose their legitimacy. That's the problem of the Greeks. They made beauty is a good thing, right? It's not a bad thing. It's from God, but it's not in of itself a good thing. It's only a good thing because God gives it to us as a blessing, or gives us as resources to appreciate God. In human marriage, a couple can preserve, develop, enhance the relationship by focusing their love on each other, renouncing all other relationships. Similarly, by focusing on the divine dimension of everything, rather than its material aspect, loving God is essentially saying that I'm not going to get fooled or get stuck in the material depiction of things. I'm going to know it's nothing other than a facade or a outer layer of God, and I'm obsessed with finding the divinity within everything. We can develop and enhance our relationship with God, turning it into a true union. So, a couple of anecdotes come to mind. One of them is the famous parable of the king invited a bunch of noblemen from around the kingdom to come to his beautiful palace. And in the palace, there was a chamber of music and a chamber of money and a chamber of art and a chamber of garden. And many people, the noblemen that were invited, they got so stuck. And they only had, let's say, 1 hour in this breathtaking palace. And the king was there also. So many people got stuck by a certain chamber. One minister, He got so enthralled by the exquisite garden, he just spent the whole hour there, and time was up. He had to leave without meeting the king. Another person got enthralled by the symphony in the music room, and the hour was up, didn't go meet the king. It was one chacham, one pikech, one smart man, clever person that didn't get sucked into the rooms of the king's, grandeur, but stuck it out and went till the throne room to spend time with the king himself.
Wow.
So to all the blessings in our lives are outer chambers of God. They're from God, and they're for us to enjoy. But when we get stuck there and we don't find the king, the truth behind it all, the oneness behind it all, the caring Hashem behind it all, that is an example of not focusing our love on our beloved, but rather getting stuck at side loves. Okay. Daily mitzvah.
Wow.
Yeah. Question? No? You had a question?
No, thank you.
The mitzvah of today is on page 142 in the Chayinu. The 71st mitzvah is that one who commits a certain type of transgression is commanded to bring a guilt offering as atonement. This offering is known as the Asham Vade, the definite guilt offering. We say this every morning, and just to say there's a few mitzvah sins that they get a special, this particular, I think it's a ram. It's from misusing temple resources, like if someone designated a sheep as a sacrifice, and then they used it to go, I don't know, play with their kid or shear the wool. That would be me'ilah. Me'ilah means misappropriating temple resources. You have to bring as atonement this asham vade. I believe it's a ram on the altar. Theft is another example. Someone who have relationships with a shivcha charufa, which is a it's a non-Jewish maidservant who has two masters. One freed her, one didn't. So she's kind of in limbo. If she has relations with a Jewish man before she's freed and becomes fully Jewish, then he would have to bring a asham vade. Swearing falsely regarding an object given to you for safekeeping, and you lie, you say it was stolen, you have to bring an asham vade.